This video brought to you by The Container Store.
Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. It's the show that continues to be impressed by Karen. No, not that kind of Karen. I mean, this Karen.
Just move.
If only she had done those in J's. It would be playing on loop on BR Kicks and Complex Sneakers IG right now. All right, let's get with some hot takes. And we're gonna start with the NBA draft, which went down this past week, and it was fine, I guess. I'll be honest, I haven't really been keeping tabs on the college kids the past year or 10. I either hear about them because they're transcendent stars like Zion, or I just wait until they blow up in the NBA like Luka. But I was all in on the news that the Charlotte Hornets, the franchise owned by Michael Jeffrey Jordan, aka the GOAT, drafted LaMelo Ball with a 3rd overall pick. You know what that means? At some point in the next few months, we will absolutely, positively see MJ and LeVar Ball together. Now, whether that means they will be cordial, playing one-on-one, or just trying to kill each other, I am all for this. Give me all the MJ LeVar content for as long as MJ can tolerate it. And if LaMelo ends up being a star, it could be a very long time. Like, if I had to power rank the type of MJ LeVar interactions I want to see, it would go like this. Number 5, live stream of them sitting socially distanced from each other in the owner's box. Number 4, LeVar pitching MJ on adding the BBB logo to the Hornets jerseys. Number 3, LeVar pitching MJ on adding Jello to the Hornets. Number 2, 2 words, sneaker battle. And number 1, a podcast where you can bet how soon MJ walks out in disgust from LeVar's takes.
I don't think you can beat me if I was one leg.
But in all seriousness, who am I kidding? This is not serious at all. I'm just here for the comedy potential between LeVar and MJ together. But I will give LeVar his due. He raised 2 boys who went on to become top 3 picks in the NBA draft, and that had never been done before. So salute to the big baller himself. And yes, I would approve a BBB and Jordan Brand collab. They can even get Jello to model the gear. It's perfect. Congrats to Jimmy Butler on signing with Li Ning and becoming the current face of the brand. There's no doubt that good buddy Dwayne Wade played a part in this deal, since he has a lifetime deal with Li Ning himself. Butler joins a growing roster of Li Ning guys, including CJ McCollum, D'Angelo Russell, and Fred VanVleet, who's probably wishing fleets on Twitter don't become a big deal. A signature shoe feels like the real next step for Jimmy, who famously turned down a big offer from Adidas to sign with Jordan Brand for 75% less money. Yeah, I don't think he gave Li Ning that type of discount. I mean, Jimmy is also the face of Big Face Coffee, and he's gonna need some more cash to help build that brand up. You know, you gotta build up the business. Off-White is selling waterproof shoe covers for $65. No word yet if it's resistant to the tears you make from missing out on sneakers every Saturday. If you're like me, you've probably wondered if that story about George Clooney giving 14 of his closest friends each $1 million in cash is real. Well, in a profile for GQ, Clooney told the story of how it all went down, and it involved undisclosed locations in LA, pallets of cash, a florist van, Tekashi 6ix9ine, 14 Toomey bags, and a bunch of super nervous security dudes. I only made up one of those things for this bit. Anyways, George handed out this money to his friends who were basically his day ones and were there for him when he needed to sleep on their couch or just some cash to get by. Let this be a lesson to everybody. If you have a friend who looks like they could be a leading man in a Hollywood film and start a $1 billion tequila company someday, but is down on their luck at the moment, let them sleep on your front porch unless they wear a face mask. Then they can sleep inside. So, you've got a sneakerhead in your life, and it's the holiday season, and you want to find something for them. Well, what I'm going to suggest is that you get one of these. It's the drop front shoebox from The Container Store. This video is sponsored by them, by the way. That's why this whole thing is happening. It helps me stay organized, and it makes my shoes look a lot neater. Sometimes they can lean to the left a little bit, because that would look really terrible here on this video. Also, during the holidays, shipping gets expensive, and you don't know when stuff is going to come, so I would suggest that you just use the contactless curbside pickup that you can do right at The Container Store. So, if you think the sneakerhead in your life wants to be a little bit more organized, or you're just tired of seeing the boxes all over the place, check these out. Let's get back to the video. And now it's time for my favorite type of middle segment, the ones where we take a meme too seriously and just can't leave it alone. And no, it's not the what doesn't look like something whatever thing that's happening on Twitter and that's basically impossible to mute or block because everybody is doing it. This one was more sneaker focused, and man, I could not wait to talk about it on Hard Pass. Anyway, with the NBA draft taking place last week, there was a lot of chatter about who was signing with which sneaker brand. That turned out to be just talk. All talk, because with the exception of LaMelo Ball, nobody is heading to training camp with the shoe deal. We can thank the global pandemic that slowed everything down for that, along with the drop in basketball shoe sales and the lack of a Zion Williamson or Trae Young type of star coming out of college being available. But that didn't stop the chatter, and so the boardroom and Nice Kicks dropped some memes to get the people talking, and you know what? I have to give it to them because we're talking about it here on the show. Okay, so the boardroom, they had their meme which asked, what would you do if you were the #1 pick in the draft and you had your choice of a sneaker deal? It's very binary in its presentation, like you're making a choice in a video game. So you could go with Nike for $40 million without a signature shoe, and the perk is 3 million more followers on social media. Second pick is Jordan Brand for $45 million, also without a signature shoe, but with access to all the J's. Then you have Adidas for $50 with a signature shoe line and the opportunity to collab with Bape. At number 4 is Puma for $75 with no signature shoe, but you'll get custom merch in 2K. And finally, we have New Balance at $80 million with a signature shoe line and a clothing line. Nice Kicks version was similar, but they added Reebok into the mix because that was disrespectful of the boardroom to leave them out. Not to be all critical about who were behind the creation of the memes, but man, the good folks at Nice Kicks must really think their audiences are a bunch of stans obsessed with checks and stripes and Jumpmans. Like, even an 18 or 19-year-old basketball prodigy with zero real-world experience would tell you that 10 million just for the privilege to wear Nikes versus 100 million with New Balance and the potential for real generational wealth is a no-brainer. No parent, agent, or business manager would ever advise their kid to take the Nike or Jordan deal. At least the boardroom meme was rooted in some semblance of reality because Nike typically offers 60 to 70% of what other brands would offer a rookie. And Nike can get away with that because they're Nike. They are banking on the swoosh and the cachet that comes with wearing their gear. Although those perks the boardroom was offering were a little suspect, like if I'm, say, Kyrie Irving, a legitimate superstar with 4.5 million Twitter followers, is his life really that much different if it was 7.5 million? Or wouldn't he just have more headaches between the thirsty DMs and all the flat earthers sending him those theories that all start with, I saw it on Facebook, bro? By the way, pro tip, for anybody who wants to have an argument with me, if your source is Facebook, don't bother. Just really, really don't. So what if we took the lessons we learned from both memes and put them together in a more compelling list? Like, what if the money offer was in the same range for each brand and they all came with a signature shoe, but it came down to the perks? Like, what if Nike's offer was 40 million, a signature shoe, and full creative control over your shoe? For example, if you wanted to drop a shoe with a touchscreen and a Wi-Fi hotspot, you could. Nothing is out of bounds. No more stories of you and Leo Chang working all night on a design. Nah. It's you calling Leo at 3 a.m. and telling him you want your shoes to have roller skates with spinning lights that form the swoosh if you go fast enough. The Jordan Brand perk can stay the same because that's what really most people over the age of 35 want, just nothing but retros. Adidas should guarantee you a Kanye West designed Yeezy lifestyle every year and a cut of the profits. While Puma should do the same, but with Rihanna, which, you know, sign me up for that one every day. The Reebok lump sum, when I turn 55, should basically be called the Allen Iverson. And New Balance should give me the option of having a clothing line that doesn't have any New Balance branding on it. I'm just saying. I was kind of bummed to see people pick New Balance or Puma while a bunch of edgelords who just want a reaction pick Nike. Like, 4-time champion LeBron James would say, do better tomorrow. And now for a prepared statement from my co-writer about Puma's latest sneaker collab with Nintendo.
Oh, hey, Puma. Hey, Puma. Call me. Just give me a call. I'm willing to leave this, whatever the thing that I'll do for Jacques, and work for you full time as your video game sneaker consultant. My rate is pretty expensive, but I'm worth it. I would have told you not to make a sneaker based on Super Mario Sunshine. It's only the worst and most garbage Mario game ever made. And that NES Future Rider is cool, but where's the Japan version? That's red and gold. Come on, Puma. If you're gonna appeal to the nerds, you need to go all the way with it. I got more where that came from. Just send me a DM. You know where to find me. All right, it's time for the heat check where we bring you the hottest releases for Thanksgiving week. May your holidays be safe in the comfort of your own home while you try to buy your kicks online. First up, we have the Air Jordan 6 Singles Day. These drop on the 25th for $210. It's a women's exclusive. The shoe is designed to be a celebration of women's basketball and their undeniable contributions to the game. Part of me wants to call these the Love in Basketball Sixes. Shout out to Sanaa Lathan. I see you. Coming up next, we have the Nike Air Max 1 Lemonade. These are on the 25th for $140. It's a flipped version of the Limeade pair that was released a few weeks ago. This 2006 throwback of the Nike Powerwall collection should have Air Max fans hyped if they didn't grab the original all those years ago. Next up, we have the Peace -1 Nike Air Force 1 Paranoids. These are on the 25th for $200. It's a sequel to last year's Black Air Force 1 collab. This white pair will feature a thin coat of paint that reveals G-Dragon's design. So get ready for a bunch of YouTube tutorials on how to remove the paint without actually wearing them for some reason. Adidas Yeezy Boost 380 Onyx. This is on the 27th for $230. According to Wikipedia, Onyx primarily refers to the parallel banded variety of the silicate material Chalcedony, I believe. I don't know. It has also been applied to parallel banded varieties of alabaster, marble, obsidian, and opal. Onyx is also the name of a 90s rap group featuring Fredro Starr and Sticky Fingers, best known for their hit song Slam, while Onyx with an I refers to the OG Pokemon used by Pewter City gym leader Brock. There's also a reflective version of the Onyx Yeezy, but whatever. Air Jordan 1 Low Light Smoke Gray on the 27th for $90. If you missed out on the Air Jordan 1 High Light Smoke Gray release a few months ago, here's your chance to pick up an adjacent pair. The color blocking is a little different because why make everybody happy, right? But I think this is a pair that kind of stands on its own because of the versatility of any white, black, and gray sneaker. Air Jordan 4 Fire Red. These are on the 28th for $200. Featuring Nike Air on the heel for the first time since the OG release. It's a classic that people have been waiting for a minute. These got a shock drop a few weeks ago, so you know Nike made a lot of pairs of these. Here's hoping everybody that wants it can actually get it. And then we have my pick of the week, which is the Nike Kobe 5 Proto Bruce Lee. These are on the 24th for $180. Yeah, not gonna lie, I can't imagine another pair of Kobe's that I want more this year than these. I missed out on them in 2010, and now might be the time to call in favors, hit up plugs, ask people I shouldn't be asking, anything. I'm not going to call these grills because they're not one of ones or super exclusive, but it's Kobe and it's one of his most iconic kicks. It's a busy week for releases, but honestly, nothing else really matters. And then my second pick of the week is the Nike Kobe 5 Proto Bruce Lee Alternate. These are on the 24th for $180. Okay, that was kind of a lie. Two things matter this week. And now for a heat check on the Travis Scott PlayStation Nike Dunks. On November 12th, aka PlayStation 5 launch day, Sony and Cactus Jack held an unboxing event for the new console. Now, if you thought this was going to be an unboxing like the ones I do, and Travis was going to do the slap and spin and the yo, 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 you were in for a treat or trick. I guess it depends on how much you like Travis. Better than I ever remember. Yeah, what was that? Not gonna lie, that whole whatever that was definitely not intended for me, but I admire Travis's commitment to his persona, which is more than I can say for his PS5 dunks and the accompanying merch. Like, I get it. People really love the original PlayStation logo. Okay, I hope I say this right, but Manobu Sakamoto's masterpiece has endured, even if the Nintendo 64 logo was kind of sort of in the same headspace with the 3D aesthetic, but gets like half the recognition. But we're not here to talk about that. In fact, people love it so much, they've plastered it on all sorts of gear, from the bootleg streetwear kids who can't afford to pay Sony's licensing fees, to the shells of Old Navy, to the iconic Nike Air Force 1 collab that was so fire, the late Kobe Bryant made this face. If you can impress the man who Matt Barnes once faked throwing a ball within inches of his face so much that he makes that face, you know you've done some good shit. So Travis going back to the well with the PS1 logo and dunks that appeared to be a first draft of his reverse swoosh concept, it's gonna be a no for me, man. Don't get me wrong. I would love to own a pair of these as a historical artifact, down payment for that Tesla truck with the windows a tumbleweed could break. But if you're asking if I think they are moving the narrative forward, that Travis is a creative genius and that he might be Nike's most important partner at the moment, I would be hesitant to do so. I don't know if we're at the peak of Travis's powers as a cultural icon, brand ambassador, but between the lackluster design, the obscenely limited number of pairs being made available, and the rumors that friends and family are selling their gifted pairs already on reseller sites, this might be the first bump in the road. That being said, I did still order that crew neck sweater. I just hope that it shows up before the PS6 actually drops. I gave the Travis Scott Dunks 2 PlayStation 3 Boomerang controllers out of 8 PSP Goes.
It's time for Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go, like not wearing your masks. Look, there's nothing political about this segment. This past week, we have gotten encouraging news that pharmaceutical companies are developing COVID-19 vaccines that are showing between 90 and 95% effectiveness. Some of these companies are doing the work themselves, while others worked with the current administration to warp speed the process. That's great, and I will give credit where credit is due. And barring setbacks, they will do more testing and research with the hope that we can get this vaccine that is safe and effective by next year. And when the scientists, the researchers, and the companies who have so much to lose if their product is a disaster claim that it is safe and good to go, then I will take it. But until then, I'll wear a mask and wash my hands and social distance. And when I take the vaccine, I'll feel safer. But I'll still wear a mask, wash my hands, and social distance for the foreseeable future. I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican or a Libertarian or a Birthdatian or whatever Kanye is calling his group this week. It doesn't matter. If I see you in public not wearing a mask or flouting guidelines that have been laid out by the CDC or local authorities, I have to wonder in my head, why? Whether it's a political rally, a Thanksgiving gathering, or the weekly celebrity Dungeons and Dragons game at Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine's house, I just can't if people are not masking up and doing social distancing. I get it if people have taken the precautions and have tested recently and are following protocols, but if you're just a Karen or a Chad just walking around all willy-nilly and still acting like COVID isn't real, I'm just gonna say it nice and slow so you can hear me. Miss me with that bull, okay? What is it going to take to get people to listen and understand? The fact that we keep breaking records for the number of cases every day, the rising death toll, which I couldn't care less how it relates to the number of positive cases. Every person that dies of COVID is a person who didn't have to die of COVID if our country had their act together. Will a young celebrity fighting for their life right now like Jeremiah make you people realize? Or how about another heartbreaking video from a nurse who has to see the pain and suffering and the death up close every day?
For some reason, the doctors there did not aggressively treat those COVID patients as they should have, as I have experienced before. So I saw a lot of people die that I feel like shouldn't have died.
Texas is literally grabbing inmates to help transfer those who have died into mobile morgues. We have mobile morgues. Is that not enough? We all want to get back to normal. Believe me, I know. I didn't think I would miss the days when I would take red-eye flights to cover sneaker events and be extremely exhausted and tired because I would have to take another flight to somewhere else to cover another event and then do it all over again the next week. But I get it. We have to beat this first, or at least get it to a level where we can control and isolate cases so we can move about freely. Someday we will get there, but we will get there faster if everybody did their part. The vaccines will become more effective. The therapeutics will make fighting the disease easier, and the treatments will be more effective as we grow and learn more. But until then, we have to mask up, and we have to wash our hands, and we have to social distance. Nobody wants to be locked down for real, but as long as those numbers are climbing, there will be a point when our state officials won't have a choice. And I don't want the reason for a lockdown to be a group of people that's like, but my freedoms, wah, America, wah, this is bondage, wah. First of all, you have no clue what real bondage is like. COVID didn't disappear after the election like some of us predicted, but I kind of wish that it was that simple. It's not, and it's not going to be that simple until we do the bare minimum. And when we do that, then we can talk about what's actually excessive and what's necessary. All right. That's gonna do it for the show. Thank you guys for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. I'll see you next week, but not before I show you the best use of dogs during quarantine.
Y'all hear the drums? Take you back to Africa.
I'll see you next week. Peace.